Thank you for joining us today, Brady, to talk about the bank's first quarter results.
Thank you.
Wanted to find out, how would you characterize the first quarter performance?
I think the first quarter was really a good, solid quarter for us. I think it continues a string of very consistent results for us, so I think that's very, very positive. We're actually up, I think, 23% in net income terms versus the year ago. And we also made very good progress on leverage and ended up in a very good capital position. So I think overall, a very solid quarter for us.
Last quarter, we talked about the Swiss National Bank's decision to float the Swiss franc. What has the notable impact been on our business in the first quarter?
Well, obviously, the moves taken by the Swiss National Bank in January led to some pretty extreme moves in the market, both foreign exchange, but obviously also the interest rate moves. We announced very rapidly a number of measures that we were putting into place in order to respond to that. And I think you can see from the first quarter results that actually we mitigated the bulk of that impact. And so we're actually pleased with how the business has performed in the face of that, given the measures that we took.
What were the highlights that we saw in private banking and wealth management in the first quarter?
Well, in particular, the wealth management clients business performed very well in the first quarter. I think the absolute level of earnings were very strong. In addition, the margins were quite good, and the net margin in particular was at 30 basis points, which is a very good level. And also the net new asset flows were strong, and we saw that from really all regions, Asia Pacific, Switzerland as well. But I think very good, strong performance across pretty much all elements of the wealth management business.
And are there any disappointing areas in private banking and wealth management?
Well, the asset management business did have a lower performance in the first quarter. Part of it's due to some of the changes like the hedging Grifo business, for instance, in Brazil, where we've changed that arrangement somewhat. So that's led to some reduced revenues coming in from that. But overall, that's a business that probably was affected not only by some of the structural issues, but also markets in the first quarter.
What were the strengths in investment banking in the first quarter?
Well, we had a particularly strong performance in the securities businesses. So the equity business, for instance, had a very good quarter. Strong performances really across the board in equities. And also a number of our fixed income businesses performed quite well in the first quarter. So overall, our sales and trading businesses actually had a very strong first quarter, which was good.
But there were also some weaker results in investment banking.
Yeah, I think a lot of the volatility in the first quarter, it led to a reduction in origination-based activities. And so that really affected our investment banking department results, sort of the advisory, M&A business. All the origination businesses there were impacted by that. And so we had weaker results in the first quarter on the investment banking department side. So again, we still feel very good about how we're positioned in that business, and we think we'll see certainly good results in the long term, but the first quarter certainly was impacted.
How do you assess the progress that we're making on our capital ratios?
Well, I think first quarter we actually made good progress. And our capital ratio, we ended up at 10%, which was pretty much what we expected given a number of the different moves on the capital account in the first quarter. We also made excellent progress on the leverage side in the first quarter, particularly in the investment bank. We actually reduced leverage quite substantially, and so in a sense are ahead of the sort of straight line progress towards the year-end target that we'd set there. So we were very happy about that.
And how are things progressing with the bank's cost savings program?
Well, we continue to be, I think, very focused on making sure that we're efficient. I think we're making good progress on that. We did announce that we're going to move out some of the targets, the absolute targets that we've laid out, because of increased control and regulatory spend that we need to make. But overall, we still are very focused on it, and we will hit those targets. Some of them are just a little bit further out than what we had originally anticipated.
So Brady, this is your last time reporting Credit Suisse's results, and there's still 2 months until you hand over the helm to Tidjane Thiam. But I wanted to ask, how does it feel today? What are some of your reflections?
Well, it is. I'm thinking back over, I guess, 32 quarterly results that I've been involved in announcements on. That's obviously a very long time, and it's been a pretty momentous period for the industry. And so we've seen a lot of, a lot's happened over that period. So it's been very interesting, certainly. And I guess for me, one of the most important things has just been, working together with the people here at Credit Suisse. I think we have some really great people here who do amazing things for our clients and for the bank, and so that's been probably the best part of those 32 earnings periods. But also our clients and the overall franchise it's obviously been very gratifying over that period of time. So it's been good.
8 years, it's quite a milestone.
Yes, it is.
Thanks for speaking with us today, Brady.
Thanks a lot.